Hey, yo, what up, Bodega Podcast? You already know who it is. It's one half of the sexiest Puerto Rican studs on this planet, Ortiz, baby. And shout out to all the Bodega Podcast listeners. Ow.
Yo, this is the Lucha Thug, the one-man Lucha gang, El Rey Gordo himself, the King Fat Boy Papo Esco, and y'all rocking with the Urban Wrestling Network.
It's your boy, the young GOAT, one half of Injustice, Hot Fire Myron, and you're listening to Urban Wrestling Network. Gang.
This is Josef Samael from Contra Unit, and you're watching the Urban Wrestling Network.
What's good? It's Tristan Ty, a.k.a. Ikuro Kwon. You're watching Urban Wrestling Network. Hail Contra!
What's up? It's Judge in the building. And make sure you guys check out Urban Wrestling Network. The boys gonna be on there chopping it up. You already know, Street Fighter.
You know what it is, man? It's like Boogie, South Philly. What up? Catch me on the Urban Wrestling Network real soon. Be on the lookout for that podcast, bro.
Yes.
MLW, all that. N.W.A, all that. I'm everywhere. Fuck out of here.
Hey, you guys. This is Christi Jaynes, and you're listening to the Urban Wrestling Network.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jeff Cobb here, and you are listening to the Urban Wrestling Network.
Hey guys, this is Carly Delani Perez, a.k.a. Katrina, a.k.a. Maxi from WWE, and you're listening to Urban Wrestling Network.
¿Qué tal, amigos de Urban Wrestling Podcast? Aquí está el mosquetero del aire solamente para decirles que sigan a mis amigos de Wrestling Podcast, toda la mejor información. Un saludo y un abrazo del mosquetero. La mejor lucha está con el Stretch Style, así es que cuídense y vean estos buenos podcasts.
I think I'm a little crooked, but I don't give a shit.
No, you're good. Okay, you're recording, so that's a good thing.
What's really good, ladies and gentlemen? It's the OG Boricua Dandada, a.k.a. Chef. It's 2022. We got some news that pertains to right now and prior to, which I didn't know about before. But let me introduce my big bro first off. The big homie, the one and only, the guy who gets nothing but hate when he keeps it real on Twitter. My man OJ 5150. What's good, my brother?
What's up, everyone? It's your boy, your quintessential Puerto Rican muffin, Jorge. And man, the last 2 days has been crazy on Twitter. Every wrestling related, whatever, talking about MLW is suing Uncle Vince for obstruction of a bunch of shit. And I'm like, wow. You sent me some stuff. I read some stuff. I got some answers, so let's kick it in, baby. That's a lot of crazy stuff going on here.
You know, and I know everybody wants to hear the current, right? But we'll get to the current because I didn't know that Vince McMahon tried to stop the Vice TV deal. I had no idea about that. And Sports Illustrated, they got to be one of the most credible sources because of Sports Illustrated.
Yeah.
If you read what they wrote, they ended off with the staff of WWE saying they could not stop Vince McMahon from trying to do this. And Vice TV wasn't feeling it. They were like, yo, like, you know, this ain't how you do business and stuff. So salute to Vice TV because we all know Vince McMahon is the juggernaut. But, you know, well, let me not say Vince. I don't know if it's Uncle Vince because they just said McMahon. So I don't know if it's Shane, Stephanie, Vince, Linda. I don't know. But as of right now, I'm going to say Uncle Vince because Uncle Vince is the king of the hill. And, you know, like I said, salute to Vice TV for standing their ground and sticking with MLW. But to me, that's like super grimy because you have WWE, who is not off that pedestal. They are the king of the mountain. That has not changed. AEW is trying to climb that mountain. They're the only ones climbing the mountain. Everybody else underneath that is looking up at the mountain saying, man, maybe we should try to climb this thing. No one is close to them. But, and we were talking about this, and I'm going to let you go say your piece because we were like, you know, damn, this is what happens when you're at the top. You don't want no one to try to climb and catch you. MLW is at the bottom. And you're like, how much of a threat can MLW be to WWE? You know what I'm saying? But my brother, please don't have me just keep flapping my gums.
Hey man, keep flapping, brother, keep flapping. But you know, the thing is like the new one thing that came out was like he tried to block and he actually succeeded in blocking Tubi TV. Now, Tubi TV is a streaming service, a free streaming service, just like Roku is, just like Sling. You know, you download it to your TV and you have free channels and you have different plans. Tubi TV is owned by Fox. And you know, Fox Pictures, Fox Sports, TV Fox, Channel 7, whatever, Channel 31, all the sports Foxes is owned by this here. This would have been a humongous coup for MLW to get into this streaming service for the simple reason that it's owned by Fox. You have all those sports there, and you bring eyes into Tubi TV, and they'll see MLW say, oh, this is wrestling. Let me check it out and see how it is. Now you have eyes on the product. So, you know, you get fans. So supposedly Uncle Vince made that phone call and saying, if you guys put them and go with this deal, we're pulling all our stuff out of Fox. Meaning SmackDown is there now and whatever else they do through Fox now. So, you know, I went ahead, you know, I did my diligence before I go anywhere and say anything. I try to do my homework because I want to be 100% understanding of what I'm saying and talking about. I don't want to be here throwing this bullshit out and I have no clue what I'm talking about. So I went and talked to one of the lawyers at the job, you know, because we have lawyers. Everything now you get sued for malpractice and shit like that, especially in a hospital setting. Talked to the lawyer who's also a wrestling fan, and he was telling me, you know, right now MLW is suing for breach of contract and obstruction of trying to get better, basically, like you said, you know, trying to climb that mountain. And then he said, right now is going to be the waiting game because Uncle Vince has all the lawyers that he wants sitting in one room, just wasting time, chilling, whatever. Just one spin, they're there. It's going to cost between $150 plus and up per hour to be retained for this. And this might take up to 2 years just on this thing alone. So he was telling me right now is the waiting game for Uncle Vince, and then how willingly MLW, Kurt Bauer, or whoever's up there is willing to spend that money to try to show proof, which there's proof of this, of WWE trying to block and, you know, condemning them basically of not getting this contract with Tubi, because that right there just destroy whatever streaming service deal the Kurt Bauer had in place when he mentioned last year, oh, you almost got big news for a streaming service. Now he's back to square one, trying to figure out, okay, who or what else can we jump into since now we can get into Tubi, you know? So, like you said, you gave the props to Vice TV because it's a small channel. They said we're not gonna let Uncle Vince dictate our business. Fox is a juggernaut, like ESPN. Yeah. You know, they're not gonna let, you know, MLW mess up their money either. So of course they're gonna have to listen to Vince. And then he was telling me you have to show proof that actually happened. So basically, it's gonna be a waiting game for Uncle Vince, and how eager and how much money they're willing to spend into this, because we know everything's gonna be put in. Well, from yesterday's date, 3 months from now, and then they're gonna come with something else. Well, we're gonna dismiss this. We're gonna reconvene another month. So every time you do that, bro, that's more money, more money, more money. Now you're pushing it to the end of the year. So it all depends how much proof Kurt Bauer has. And if someone wherever will step in from Fox and say, you know something, this is true. This is what really happened. And then you have the courts, like at the FCC and stuff like that get into it and say, well, hold up, you can't do this. You can't stop somebody from trying to get their shine. You gotta do this too. You know, and then the bad thing is you have wrestlers who are chiming in on this. Joey Janela came in yesterday and put a bunch of tweets when he used to work with Court Bauer back in 2018, you know, saying that they're cheap, that they only paid the talent $3,000 for the whole year for the contract. I mean, this dude is just going off and off and off and off. Unfortunately, I've spoken to two different talents that are no longer with MLW behind the scenes, and they've told me this is almost the same thing where Kurt Bauer is a good person, but they don't know a lot of the business. They listen to the wrong people behind the scenes. A lot of things is not being shaping like it should be, like they say it is, but it's not behind closed doors. So, you know, George and I did it. You might see some other people that are, you know, are mad about something and come in and say, oh, well, this is true. I'm going to co-sign what he said. So now the floodgates going to open on that too. So I'm waiting to see who else comes in a couple of days and co-signs what Janela said and go from there. So, I mean, with MLW trying to climb that ladder, you trying to do something, but now Janela threw like a little wrench in the monkey wrench right now. And then you don't want to get that black eye of being known, well, they're cheap. Or they're not paying, or this guy's not saying or doing what he said he's doing behind closed doors. It's all smoking mirrors. So that's the last thing they need, is that type of publicity from someone like Janela, and then whoever else co-signs him. And, you know, I don't know much about Janela. I didn't know who Janela was till a couple of years ago from WrestleMania weekend. And when he was doing the spring break, I'm like, I've never heard of this dude in my life. So that was like 3 years ago, the first time I heard of Janela. So, you know, we have to wait and see what happens.
The weird thing is that we've interviewed a bunch of MLW talent, and they're all super happy with the status of everything. One of them even gave high praise to Court Bauer when we were interviewing him. So I seen a tweet, and I'm not saying I talked to anybody we interviewed, because how many people do we know from the MLW roster we actually talked to? You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of guys. So I reached out to three, and I said, yo, what y'all think of that tweet? I'm not going to say who their names are, but they're like, shit, I wouldn't work for that money. And they're in the company. So, like, they're obviously sitting there saying, well, I don't know what deal he had, but that ain't our deals. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not going to work for that shit. But you also got to understand, we don't know, because a lot of wrestlers say the craziest shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, how many people have came out of their pocket and disrespected Impact, disrespected WWE? Now you got somebody trying to disrespect MLW. You know what I'm saying? You always get a bitter person. And I'm not saying that his deal wasn't shit. I don't know his deal. First off, most of these wrestling fans somehow know how everybody's deals look. And I've never heard anyone say, yo, this guy got paid peanuts. Like, here's my thing. Here's the one thing I always stand on is, if you're a wrestler and you sign a contract, you signed it. Exactly. So if you get paid $3,000 or $30,000 or $3 million, you signed that deal. Why are you upset with anyone when you signed the deal? If it's not worth the deal, don't take the deal. Because this is where having the legal team comes into play. You're the wrestler, I'm your lawyer. Like, Chef, let me take care of this. I'll give you the little points where you have to know this is, you're gonna pay this much for this here, for this. Are you gonna do it? Yes or no? Yes. Okay, I'll sign it and we'll send it in. This is where you have to have that lawyer to give you all the points, so that way you don't get stuck not understanding what the hell you're signing, because now you're making yourself look foolish if you're signing something and then going to go, well, hold up, who signed that shit? You signed up to work for peanut. That's on you. Like you saying. Mathematically, this shit don't add up to me, because if you work a minimum wage job at 40 hours a week, you're making more than $3,000 a year. So what are you doing? I'd rather work at McDonald's making whatever the minimum wage is, getting health insurance, and yeah, all right, fine, I'm working a regular job, but I'm working a regular job making more money than what he would be making at that point with health insurance. Like,
yeah.
And I'm not shitting on McDonald's. I'm talking about you make your money however you gotta make it. I'd rather you make it legal. But there's a lot of, you gotta look at $3,000 for a year. That don't even pay your rent. Like,
You know who I would love to listen from right now at this point after the Janela tweet is people who did not resign this past when they did the new draft and they drafted the new people to come into the company. Remember when they were doing the weekly drafts? Whoever didn't make the draft, it means they're no longer there. So I would love to listen or see a tweet from somebody who was just recently there 2 months ago and say something like, yes, I agree with you. This is how much I was getting paid, and I know because I was just there 2 months ago, 3 months ago, or this guy is not really telling you the truth because I got paid lovely, and I moved on to something better for myself or something different, away from wrestling. So I would love to see somebody who worked there recently say something either to co-sign him or say that's bullshit.
like somebody like a Kevin Koo or Boku Dow or
I didn't want to mention nobody's name because I like, oh, this guy talking shit about it.
I'm just saying like somebody who recently just is not with the company no more.
Like salina de la renta or somebody like that who was big and then saying something like, yeah, I co-signed this dude. It's true. I was there when he was there, and I just left last year, so I don't know what this dude's talking about. Something like that. Either you co-sign it or you discredit him. Either or we know what's true, what's not. People could tweet nowadays, and like you say, I get hate because I tweet stuff because I do my research. Oh, you hate? How the hell am I hating? I'm tweeting, but nobody knows if it's true or not. You know what I'm saying? I am not under law. I am not under any contract. So if something doesn't come true that I've been saying, you can't do nothing to me. I can get fired from Twitter. It was my opinion. Is what I said. You know what I'm saying? I'm not under any type of law that I have to tell you. You know what I'm saying? Was I wrong? Yes, I'll say I was wrong, and I'll move on to the next thing. I can't get fired. You can't you can't hit me with a crime or nothing like that. All they do on Twitter lying. Arrest them. Hey, whatever.
Listen, all we do on here is we try to show love to shit and we put our points of opinion on. That's all we do. If we like something, we're gonna say we like it. If we don't like something, we're gonna say we don't like it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
we do really not kiss anybody's ass to get them on here whatsoever. Oh my God.
Yo, listen. First off, we are not MLW homers. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't do that. And if anything, we probably annoy Court Bauer, the man behind MLW, more than anybody else on social media. We hit that guy up at least once or twice a week for him to hire a specific female and to ask some random ass question. You know what I mean? Like, and we do mess with the guy. I mean, he responds to us, which is really cool. But like just the other day, I was saying something. Pagano, your boy Pagano, and
Pagano.
He's gonna fight Hammerstone in Dallas.
Yes.
So I said because I seen Court Bauer tweeted it. I said, yo, Court, I hope we get to see Pagano more, not just in Azteca Underground and versus Hammerstone. And he put like a GIF saying like something like, "Oh, you got your wish." So I was like, dope, like because Pagano's a hell of a talent. So I'm like, that's what's up. We don't come at him with your Court, why aren't you doing this? Your Court, why don't you do this? MLS, how come you, Mr. St. Laurent, how come you don't do that? We don't bother these guys. Like, we come here and then we try to get some of the guys we really want to talk to because we enjoy their work. We try to give it to you guys who enjoy the shit like we do. If something's whack, we gonna call it whack.
Like, one thing that gets me more upset than anything else, people that do the same thing that we do. Who do you want me to interview? Like you have the power to interview anybody we tell you to. Well, yeah, we want you to interview The Rock. Can you interview him? Since you asking us who do you want me to interview next? Like, you have that type of stroke. We're doing the same thing you're doing. We don't have no type of stroke, and we ain't paying nobody to come in and sit and answer a couple of questions. So stop asking the damn questions of who do you want me to interview next? Who do you want me to see me interview next? Where do you want to see me next? God damn it, enough. Jeez.
You know what?
Drives me crazy, bro. Drives me crazy.
So many people try to use social media to build themselves up. We don't give a fuck. We just talk our shit. We have fun when we do. We're cool with some of the talents. If they want to come on here and talk their shit, let's talk their shit. You know what I mean? Like,
if we were younger, if we were in our late teens, early 20s, single, I'll be everywhere. I'll be at every damn show too. My parents are taking care of me. What the hell? I got my money, doing over here. I'm great. Send me some money. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go here. Yeah, sure. We're in our 40s.
And that's the thing. Like, I've always had people especially with my Impact Wrestling tenure, when I was living in the Impact Zone, always wanted me to try to talk to the guys to get interviews for other people, and I never did that because why am I going to go out of my way to try to change a relationship that I randomly got cool with guys without having to force myself on, and they respected me enough to be cool with me because they know I wouldn't say nothing or I wouldn't do stuff. I got to see certain things, and it was pretty cool. But the thing is, you've been to a bunch of Philadelphia shows. Some of the talents do know exactly who you are. They show you mad love. Not because you sit there and kiss their ass. Not because you're like, I'm the greatest shit on earth. Nah, because you're you. You don't change up who you are. You sit there, you do what you do. They appreciate it. You boo certain people, they laugh. I mean, Joseph Samael. I mean, you and Joseph Samael hate each other on social media, but you show him respect at the shows.
Exactly. And they're in person. We're cool in person. He looks at me, he curses at me, I'll laugh, and we keep it going. I wish nothing but all success for Joseph Samael in his life with PCW and Ultra, whatever he's doing. He knows if I'm there, I'm gonna boo his ass off right there and then. But he knows that after the show, I'm his biggest supporter. Like, man, that was a hell of a show. Blah blah. I'll slap him up. It's for 3 hours. I'm involved in that. My whole mentality is in the wrestling.
Yep.
Once that bell rings to the show was over, I'm involved in the wrestling. That's I don't nothing else exists outside my life. When the show is over, it's over. Oh, time to go. Where we're gonna go eat. Let me say hi to this guy real quick. We take a couple of pictures, buy some merchandise. They know if they see me coming, they know, here comes Jorge. He's buying some shit. I don't go to nobody asking questions unless I go. I'll buy a shirt. I'll buy a picture. We talk for a couple of minutes, and then I'll hit them with my other shit, and we go from there. I've never gone to one, can you say this for me on camera and without buying anything? Like, dude, who the hell are you?
Yeah, and that's the one thing that you've always said. It's the one thing that I always agree with, is if you're a fan of somebody, supports talent. Like, a lot of these guys, listen, even some of the WWE guys ain't banking like that. Like, some of these dudes ain't caking. So if you're a real fan of them, you'll support them. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's my take on it. And I know dude, I didn't know how expensive this shit was going to be for MLW to try to battle WWE.
What he was telling me is from $150 per hour and up, depending on the firm. If you go to a firm, if you go to an individual, it's going to cost. And this is why, I always kind of sit back when you see somebody suing somebody, and at the end they settle out of court. But in this case, they won't settle out of court because they're not getting anything. They just want to show proof and say, this is what Uncle Vince is doing to try to stop us. He's trying to put that stop gauge in between us trying to climb that ladder. Like you said earlier.
I got a question because it just dawned on me, and it would be the last thing I throw at you. Who's the lawyer that has those little like promo vignette things in MLW? He has like a logo on the mat.
Yeah, they should use him.
They should use that guy. They should use that guy. Like,
well, and your thing is, you know something? That's a good idea. I never thought about that. He probably either works. He probably either has his own law firm. He's probably since he gets the things on the commercials on the show. I'm pretty sure they're asking him for the advice and a pro bono, deal. Okay, you put this here. I'll give you what you need, blah, blah, put them in the right direction, sure, okay, you got to do this. So that will be awesome if that's happening, because then they'll definitely save some money in the long run. But they're not seeking money. They're just seeking to show what supposedly he's doing. Because once again, it's supposedly what he's doing. We don't know shit. There's no proof that says that. So somebody's going to have to come in from Fox, like Vice TV did, from Fox, and saying, yes, he tried to do this, and we either say yes to him or we say no, that's illegal, because that is illegal. He can't, that's illegal. He can't do that.
Vince, listen, we all know Vince has tried to monopolize for years. It's what he's done. And you know what? As a business person, I don't even hate Vince McMahon for that. It's business. If you're not trying to if you're not trying to cut the head off your competition, then you have no right being in business. Because it's me or you, and I'm going to eat before you are. I'm not mad at you.
If Impact, MLW, N.W.A, AEW are not trying to imitate Uncle Vince's company to an extent, that you in the wrong business, because you have to imitate his model of how he got to that point. Not everything. Let's look at the structure of how he used to get here. We'll do the same structure. We'll switch some things around so it doesn't look the same. And then when we reach a certain time, then we do our own shit. But pretty much sure everybody is going to the same, domino effect, the same pyramid that he did to start and keep going up. They're taking ideas from that, the same floor model, and then go from there. So if you're not doing it, then you line your ass out if you're not doing the same model that has been done for the last 100 years. And then when you reach a certain amount, like you said, now we reached that pinnacle. Now it's time to cut his head off and take over. Because AEWCW is doing that right now.
Yep.
It's everything, everybody that they kicked out from NXT when they went to NXT 2.0 is mostly there now. AEW, WCW is there. So
and
they're trying
all
to
the original people, they're kicking out
everybody.
now.
Exactly. Now it's only been 2 years. I'm not saying that it's going to happen. We'll find out in year 5. We'll find out in year 10.
Yep.
If they're still around. That's the question. Impact is hitting 20 years this year.
Yeah.
It's the
Regardless
20th anniversary.
Of shit on them or not. Listen, this is 20 years. Something is right. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. They've been trying to kill this company for the last 10 years. They've been trying to kill Impact Wrestling. And Impact Wrestling is still here. And it's the 20th year. And, we don't watch it as much as we used to. We move some other places and stuff that we do now. I still cheer for Impact Wrestling. I still love Impact Wrestling. If they come anywhere near close to me, I will go to an Impact Wrestling show.
Listen, and I'm going to end it with this because I think it's a perfect way to go out to salute 20 years of Impact Wrestling. So Bill Vink, who obviously is my son, is super inspired by everything he's ever seen, from being a young teen to now being a 20-year-old grown man. And I know he doesn't want me to tell what kind of ring it is, but he bought a ring. It's already on its way to Florida. He's going to host a show. He's going to try to emulate things that he fell in love with the business, meaning Impact Wrestling TNA. So that's the effect that it had to him being a young teen to saying, you know what, now I want to have my own company. This has been my passion. I grew up with this. I love this. And that's the effect that a wrestling company could do. So salute to everyone involved, from the staff that we knew to management, everyone in between, because y'all inspired this young man to keep doing what you do. That's 20 plus years, and I can't wait to see the next 20 years of Impact Wrestling as well. Salute to everybody involved. Salute to their champ Moose, even though I know you don't like him. That's a Moose for you. Ladies and gentlemen, for myself, the big homie, we out of here. Deuces.